Hello and welcome back to the Cars Ireland YouTube channel. Up today we have a tale of two samurais, or in other words, large Japanese SUVs with plug-in hybrid systems.
I have with me today the new Honda CR-V. CR-V standing for Comfortable Runabout Vehicle, which it surely is. And this new model CR-V comes with a new plug-in hybrid powertrain, which will allow you to travel up to 80 kilometers on electric power alone, but also has the backup of a 2-litre petrol engine, meaning you're never left at the mercy of that battery.
The Mazda CX-60 is a very similar setup, slightly larger petrol engine at 2.5 litres, but an EV range of up to 64 kilometers on paper in ideal conditions.
So where are we on the pricing scale? How much am I going to get into one of those for?
You can start at about €57,000 for that entry level. This mid-spec Homura model, 64, but you can go all the way to 80 plus.
Okay, we're in the same ballpark here though, because funnily enough, the plug-in hybrid version of the CR-V is actually the best value of the three variants that are available. There's two other closed-looped hybrid systems, which I'll chat about later. But this one also comes in the highest spec, which is called Advanced Tech, absolutely loaded full of goodies, but does come with a not unsubstantial price tag of €68,000.
Okay, and how many horsepower does that €68,000
I've got a
get
standard
you?
184.
Okay.
How many do you need for a family vehicle?
You need 327, because
Okay,
that's what
nice.
this pushes out. And 0 to 100 in 5.8 seconds.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Shall we check them out and see what they're like on the inside?
Yes, please. Right, we're up the front of the CR-V, but shall we start at the back? How big is your boot?
Let's talk space, okay? Because that's a real strong point for the CR-V. Boot space comes in at a whopping 617 litres. And again, due to some trickery with the battery placement, the plug-in hybrid actually has the most boot space of all the variants.
That is strange.
It
Normally
is.
it's the opposite.
But I'm not complaining. 617 litres is enormous. It's really well sized as well, and it's really well shaped. It's got a good big wide opening, quite boxy at the back, some would say, to the detriment of the looks. But I'm not complaining because the boot is amazing. You can drop the back seats from back there, and despite having that really large boot, what you've also got is a really generous space in the back.
Yes.
Now, I review a lot of SUVs, and you do too, and in some senses I feel like there's a bit of a scam going on in terms of they look bigger inside, but generally there's not that much extra space where you really need it.
No, it's a height thing, and that's
It's a
about
height
it.
thing, so where you really need it in the boot and in the back seat, with the exception of the CR-V, because if you look back there, you've got Skoda Superb-esque levels of legroom back there.
It's very good.
It's really good. You've got a completely flat floor, you've got a really lovely leather finish on this Advanced Tech model, wipe clean, easily accessible Isofix anchors. It's right up there with back seats for me in terms of the most practical, especially for family life.
Very good.
But the real party trick back there is that those back seats actually recline too.
Okay, so nice and comfortable and lots of space and lots of light with your sunroof and the whole lot.
Extreme levels of comfort. Couple of USB ports for charging, and as you said, that light getting in the back. Yeah, it's right up there with back seats for me. Okay, so up here, where we, the more important stuff where we as the drivers sit, this is your first impression, so what do you think?
I like it. It's clean, minimalistic. I really like this line running across the dash and these sort of nipples, for want of a better word, to control the direction of the air.
They are cool.
Yeah, they are cool. It's nice and clean. I really like it.
I agree, and for me what I've really enjoyed with living with the CR-V this week is the really good mix between screen and physical controls. You've got these really nice kind of tactile buttons, switches and dials for things that you really want to access in a hurry, and it's absolutely loaded with tech. You've got
It really
wires.
is.
It is.
It's
You've
so
got
much.
like, you'd be hard pressed to find a feature that this car doesn't have, and like I said, it is the most it is the top spec model, which comes with wireless phone charging. You've got obviously your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, a really impressive list of safety features, an excellent blind spot monitoring system, radar assisted cruise control,
Heated steering wheel,
heated seats and ventilated seats. What else have we got? An amazing parking system, the Pro Pilot parking system, which gives you a 360-degree view. It's got literally everything you would want. When you're turning left or right, you'll get a camera view of what's coming up on your inside lane. So yeah, just really safe, really high tech, but also gives you this nice, clean, minimalistic look.
The screen doesn't look high tech. That looks older, but I'm sure it works fine.
It does.
Yeah,
It's functional.
that's fine.
Function
Plonk on.
over fashion in this
Yeah,
respect, I feel.
definitely.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you want to see the Mazda?
Yes, I would. Okay, tell me about the space in the CX-60.
So space in the boot is 570 litres, so it is less.
Still decent.
Pretty decent, but the party piece of the boot is it has a 3-pin plug.
Wow.
Yeah, very necessary for
3-pin
charging.
If you want to bring a toaster or a kettle on the road with you.
You never know when you need these
Okay,
things.
I guess so. Yeah, we could have done with it with the power cuts in Ireland a couple of
Exactly.
weeks ago.
Rural Ireland would have been very helpful with this car if they had that set up. There's also quick release to drop the seats down.
Handy.
1700 litres of space, van-like again,
Okay.
loads of space. And in the back, we're arguing here, but I think it's closer than you think, but maybe the Honda takes it
I think
slightly.
we'll have to get a clip of you in the back seat, but it definitely feels like a lot more legroom in the CR-V. But this is still not bad, and
Yeah.
like it's got a good wide rear bench as well, and again very accessible for Isofix.
And an almost flat floor. Not quite, but close.
Better
And
than most.
yours did have heated seats in the back, as does this.
Yes.
There's two USB ports as well down the bottom, and another 3-pin plug.
Of course.
Yeah, Mazda
But
love a
of course.
3-pin plug socket.
Kids
Yeah.
are really spoiled in the back these days.
Yeah, USB and
We
3-pin.
had pop-out windows back in my day. Okay, tell me about the front.
Right, I want to show you a party piece first before
Okay.
we get on any further.
Your party piece, okay. Besides the 3-pin plugs, another one.
This is such a party car. So many parties. I want to show you something here very quickly. Bear with me a second while I find this. So this is the driver personalization system, and we're going to set it up for you very quickly.
Okay.
And as you can see, the screen you can control via this dial down the bottom, or you can touch the screen as well.
Okay.
So this is where you can set the profile to the driver. So we're going to add a new driver, which is you obviously.
Okay.
Add to the system. What height are you?
Oh wow. I'm 167 centimeters.
Small. So we scroll to 167, click, start. And it sets it up ideal to your height, which we can let you judge when you set it up. How does that feel? Is that what you do?
That's pretty good.
Isn't it?
That is pretty good. And I was a bit
Can't get over the technology.
yeah, like that's fairly spot on.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I was skeptical because I thought, people have different length torsos and legs, and
Yeah.
my 167
It's not the same
centimeters
as
can
yeah,
be.
yeah, exactly.
But no, that's pretty good. I've got a completely perfect view of the digital instrument cluster, and that is, yeah. Okay, I'm impressed. Call me impressed.
Yeah, sure. Look, party piece galore in this car, and I did the same, and it felt very good as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, this is very, very similar to the Mazda in the spec and setup. You have the same sort of flat panel across the front here, big center console, but what looks like they kind of pulled some tights over the silver.
Yeah, it hurts my eyes a little bit, but it's quite funky.
I did think you could feel it, but you can't.
Okay.
It does have that feel about it. Quality's pretty good. The only letdown might be the indicator stock. Feels slightly flimsy when you flick it.
Okay.
And a small little cubby beside there that is not the best quality, but I am being very nitpicky here.
That's definitely nitpicking.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like the design. It's similar to the Honda in that it's kind of minimalistic, it's simple, it's functional, good mix of screen to button, good ratio of screen to
Yeah.
button. And I can see you've got all the bits and bobs,
Yeah.
the heated seats, the ventilated seats, the heated steering wheel. Sure,
yeah.
look, we're
All buttons
spoiled
and
rotten.
switches.
You don't even have to decide what height you want your steering wheel at here.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
a great setup, isn't it?
It is, it's really
It's
nice.
very nice. And for this kind of money, I think you'd be paying a lot more to get this kind of tech in what might be considered a more premium model.
Absolutely, and that's where I think Honda and Mazda have a kind of a similar edge there. They're the
They
less
really do,
obvious
yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
You probably are not going to expect this level of luxury in them, but once you
No.
sit inside them, you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Exactly. The badge snobbery maybe affects certain aspects of it, but it's a great interior.
Yeah, I like it. Shall we see what they drive like?
Yes, please. Right, so driving the CX-60, and I do have a bit of housekeeping to get out of the way while we get in here.
Okay.
So as you can see from the reg, this is a 242 or a 2024 model.
Okay.
Mazda have a habit of releasing sort of incremental updates to their models. So the 2025 model will have a newer rear suspension, some extra safety features, even a feature where it'll lock the back brake to turn in a bit quicker. And I'll be honest, it does need that suspension update.
It is a little bit fidgety, isn't it?
It's a bit more fidgety, it's a bit stiffer. I think it's particularly at the back, and I think that's where they're upgrading it.
Okay.
And it does need it because it rides fine a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But when it's a more severe jump or pothole or really pocketed road, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world.
It's not like those, no.
No, it does not like those. And it has this weird sort of kind of Frankenstein mindset about it, because its performance figures are 330 brake horsepower, give or take. No, it's 105.8 seconds. You feel like it should be a performance car,
Yeah.
but it's not.
No, it's an SUV.
Yeah, it doesn't quite reward performance. It rewards comfort, and the more relaxed you drive it, the easier you go with this car, it feels more rewarding.
Okay.
Which is a bit, I find that a
So
bit
your
sad.
300 odd horsepower is a waste, is that what you're trying to tell me?
It's not a waste because it's still nice. Like if we put it in sport mode, you do have to put it in sport mode if you want a more enthusiastic drive, and it does reward it. It goes.
Does go.
Yeah.
It does go.
And it's not a bad,
Sounds alright too.
It's not a bad sound. So it can give you those hints of performance. It's just a bit of a mixed bag.
Do you need them? Do you actually need them? What's it like in terms of efficiency?
Efficiency is good. Again, it probably sits in that same region of all plug-in hybrids. Like, keep it charged, you'll do well. Don't charge it, you're hauling around a big fat battery that weighs like 200 kilos or whatever, and that's not ideal for anyone, never mind a car like this. And then in terms of overall figures of fuel economy, this one says 8 litres per 100 kilometres, but I really wouldn't go by that because I don't know what people have been doing driving this before me. Charge it and it's fine. Charge it and it's very efficient, and you still get over 300 horsepower.
Yeah, that's the key with the plug-ins, really, isn't it?
Like, body roll isn't bad. It is just very specifically that suspension, and the steering, like, there's not a lot of feel, there's not a lot of feedback, which is pretty common in an SUV, but it's a very quick rack. Like, that's, for a very small input, you're talking quite a lot of output.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, it's a mixed bag. I really like it though. I still really like this car. I can't get away from that. I like Mazdas in general. It just doesn't maybe reward you in the way you would have expected from a Mazda. Like, I've driven the Mazda 6, the Mazda 3. They both are really rewarding driver's cars. This just isn't quite there. Maybe that suspension setup for 2025 will help it along. I do think it needs it.
Okay. Shall we see what the Honda's like?
Yes. Is it more comfortable?
It most certainly is. Welcome to the CR-V on the road, which I'm sure you'll agree is quite a comfortable place to be.
Yeah, it's really dealing with these bumps and bruises very well. It's a nice cruiser.
Do you know what? It's a really nice, comfortable, confident family car to drive. It's predictable. It's got that kind of very familiar Honda competence, I would say. It's yeah, it feels solid, it feels safe, you know, there's a great driving position, it's extremely comfortable, pretty much everything you want in terms of a family SUV when it comes to handling. It's also quite efficient, and it got very close to those 80 kilometers on the electric range. Once you go onto the petrol power alone, obviously it starts to get a bit thirstier, particularly at motorway speeds, because you're obviously carrying around that hybrid system, and it's a big 2-litre SUV. So I've been averaging about 5.9 litres per 100 kilometres. That's on petrol power alone.
That's
but again,
good.
yeah, to be expected. And as you said, it can be kind of hard to judge these things, because if you use a plug-in hybrid in the way that it should be used, that 80 kilometre range should be doing the majority of your day-to-day driving for you. So once you can be disciplined enough to keep it charged, I think where this really makes sense is for your maybe larger suburban family that need the space but don't necessarily do huge mileage. You could end up running this quite sizable vehicle for really very little.
I think Honda drivers probably are quite pragmatic and practical people, so they will be willing to take the time to charge it most days.
Yes, that's actually a good observation. I do feel like a sensible Honda driver would have the sense to charge it every day.
Yeah, they're sensible and neutral, but they're confident in their sensibleness.
Yes, exactly. So I've been living with the CR-V for a week, and yourself with the Mazda CX-60. Having seen both up close now, what do you think you'd be going for with your own money?
See, that Mazda just gets me on looks every time. I think it is the best looking large-ish SUV
It is a very
on
good
sale
looking
today.
car,
It
yeah.
is, and that sells me on it. And I'd probably I know we've gone through the hybrids and the plug-in hybrids and all that, and I'd probably still go for that 3.3 diesel if I had the money.
Controversial.
I know, but it's just rare, and like no one else is doing that size of a diesel engine these days, and it's just get it while you can.
Get it while you can.
I love Mazda for that. It's just a bit left field.
First, yeah. Well, in terms of the CR-V itself, I would actually definitely be going for the plug-in hybrid powertrain, not just because of the efficiency, which is obviously a big seller, but it also comes really well specced, and you actually get more for your money by going for the plug-in hybrid. So that would make the most sense for me. Yeah. Between the two, like you, I'd probably steer towards the looks on Mazda's side. It's just a little bit more striking. The Honda's more conservative, we'll say.
Yeah, traditional.
Safe, but still, I am enjoying Honda's new design language.
It looks good.
Undoubtedly good look. It's just perhaps not going to blow your socks off, you know? Again, unassuming, just like, I'm kind of liking this theme. I kind of liking this theme.
It's Margot Robbie versus me.
Yeah, so for that reason, I think I would really like one of these.
Yeah.
It's one of the only SUVs I can get on board with in terms of it actually offers the space that you think it's going to offer.
This would settle into your life very easily.
It would be so easy to live with.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's the CR-V.
Okay.
Thanks for watching this far. If you have, we hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, you might give us a like, share, follow, and all of that jazz. If you're in the market for one of these, or one of those, or any other make, not an Anthony, but a Mazda, or any other make or model for that matter, you'll find hundreds of new and used models to choose from, as well as tons more content like this with no funny business on CarsIreland.ie. Till next time, slán.
Slán. Sláncha.